If you use videos in your teaching, you've probably gotten the message that it's a good idea to caption those videos. And it is. For students with certain kinds of disabilities, videos are not accessible to them unless they're captioned. But even for other students, international students, English language learners, those captions, those words on the screen, are a nice reinforcement of the message that you're speaking, which, because of your accent or the speed at which you speak, might be difficult for them to grasp the first time around. So captioning is a sound pedagogical idea. You should totally do it. But until recently, it's been a pretty difficult process to figure out. In this short video, I'm going to give you 3 different methods for captioning, and I'm going to focus on the one that I think is the most accurate, the cheapest, and the fastest. And I'm going to walk you step by step through how to do that. There is a free way to do captioning, and you might already be aware of this free method of captioning, but I think you kind of get what you pay for. Let's look at this example. This is a video I made for our freshman orientation, and I'm talking about this puzzle, and in the video I actually say, here's the picture on the box, I'm going to turn them over, talking about the puzzle pieces. But as you can see, it ends up being captioned maternal over, which would probably be more confusing than not having captions at all. So, I don't think this is a very good option, even though it's free. Now, if you work through the Disability Resource Center at Purdue, you have to do most of the same steps I'm going to show you to do it yourself. You still have to make the video, save the video, share the video with somebody, but you can send it through the Disability Resource Center. You've got to allow 10 business days, so 2 weeks, and it costs $2.65 a minute. I think that's pricey and slow. So I was looking for another way to do this, and what I found was a vendor called Revcom. And Revcom turns your video around in 24 hours for $1 a minute. Now, at least right now, you still have to pay for your captioning, unless you use the YouTube option, which I don't think is a practical option. So $1 is a lot easier to stomach. And hopefully you've got maybe a flexible spending account, or your department or your college is willing to help foot the bill for the captioning, because it really is going to improve the effectiveness of your videos. But if you've got to pay anyway, I think Rev.com is the way to go. So I'm going to walk you through step by step from creating your video to having your nicely captioned video on your Blackboard website for your class. Let's start by creating the video. I hope you already know how to do this if you're watching this video to learn how to caption. So maybe you use one of our Video Express labs here on campus. Maybe you use Camtasia, but however you create your video, you start with the video. Now the first thing you're going to have to do with your video is to download that video to your computer. So if you're using a Video Express room, you'll get your link to your video on something like this. And ordinarily, you probably upload directly to Kaltura, which is exactly what you should do. But if you're going to caption the video, in addition to that, you also have to do an extra step, and that is to download your video so that you can send it to Rev. Now, when I do this, I usually just use my desktop, because I'm only going to keep the file temporarily, and I don't want to tie up a lot of memory space on a server. So I'll just save that to my desktop. So I've sent it to Kaltura, I've downloaded a copy to my desktop, and the next step is to go to www.rev.com. Now once you get there, they have several services, but what we're talking about is subtitles. So we'll click on subtitles, captions, and as you can see, you get your first 10 minutes for free, which means this is a very low-risk way to try out Rev.com. But go ahead and click on that. And the method that we'll use is to upload files. So you click Upload Files, and then it's a really simple interaction box where you can choose files from your desktop, or you can just drag your files there. This uploader is really fast. So even though your video files are going to be really large, they will upload fairly quickly to Rev. Now once you've uploaded your video, you will have to go ahead and pay for the captioning. So however many minutes of video you have, that's how many dollars you're going to have to pay. So you go ahead and have to pay on the spot, and then within 24 hours you will get a response from Rev that includes a .srt suffix file. Now just a note about this, your computer will probably not recognize that suffix. And so if you try to open it on your computer, it will probably tell you, do you want us to look for the software that might be used for this because we don't recognize it? Don't even worry about that. Because when you upload it to your video, Kaltura will recognize it, so you don't need to worry about it. So you've made your video, you've downloaded it to your computer, you've sent it to Rev, you've gotten the file back from Rev, you've just saved those .srt files, again, on your desktop or somewhere where you've got them to use, and now it's time to attach those caption files to your video. So what you need to do is to go into Media Space, which is the Kaltura product that we use at Purdue that's connected to Blackboard. I usually just search for Media Space Purdue, and then when that comes up, I log in. When you first log in, you don't get all your lists. You have to go to My Media, and then you'll see all the videos here that you've made. Now we're going to use captioning practice appropriately to show how to do this. So you find the video that you want to add the caption file to, and then you click on Edit. It will give you a slightly larger version of your video, and beneath the video, one of the options is Captions. So click on Captions, and then click on Upload Captions File. So I have just saved my caption files on my desktop. You can see here it is, captioningpractice.srt, and see how the computer here does not know how to open that file, but it doesn't matter. We're going to pick that one, open it, and then we do have to select a language. So I'll choose English, and then label. This can be almost anything. I mean, it can be anything you want, but the default is off or whatever you put here. So I usually put captions. So if a student clicks on the captioning button, they see that their choices are off or captions. I save that, and Kaltura is attaching my caption file to the video that I created in the first place. Now for some reason, if I click on this right now, it's not going to show captions. So what I have to do is just kind of refresh it by going back one screen to that original list of videos, and this time when we click on it, we should end up with a video that is captioned. Let's see if it worked. So it brings up the video for us. Go ahead and see what happens, and here's the little captioning button where your students can choose to have captions on or off.
I'm speaking to you in the Video Express room that's in Lilly. And this room is pretty cleverly hidden because it's L47, which isn't on any building map that I've found. So the way to get here is actually to come to the second floor of Lilly.
So it worked out for us. We got that caption file added, and now the video's captioned. $1 a minute, 24-hour turnaround. I think using Revcom is the quickest, most accurate, and cheapest way to add good quality captions to your teaching videos.